Bonjour ma petite chiflée, Amber here, and when was the last time I actually sat down to film a video? Maybe like 2 months ago. Anyway, it is that time of the year. It's the end of the year. Today is December 20th. We are 5 days before Christmas, and this is one of my favorite times of the reading year where we other book creators sit down and just kind of recap the year and also start planning for the next year, 2022. Ugh. Exactly. Anyway, so I forced myself to get up today, I'm not gonna lie, so I could finally get started. I'm already behind a little bit on filming these videos. Today we are starting by revisiting my TBRs from this time last year for 2021. I've done this video like twice before where I look back at my to be read and also my anticipated releases videos of each year, and then compare to see which books on those lists I've actually read. So I'm not gonna dawdle because I have 2 videos to get through. I'm watching them on my TV again this year. The first of which is my 21 books that I want to read in 2021 video. Let's set this up because I'm gonna put it on maybe 2 times speed to get through a little quicker. Okay, let's take it back to the beginning because it kept restarting. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Today is January 5th. Yeah, I'm running behind as always, but I tried to get a little festive for you. I have earrings on and everything. I have a bunch of highlight on. So like I said, I was about to say, look at how short my hair was, but so I'm finally going to sit down and share some of the books that I need to read this year. I look cute though. 2021 releases. So my mom. My more generalized TBR. I'm not going to talk too much ahead of time because I have 21 books to talk through. Please bear with me. So like I said, these are just books that are already out that I desperately need to read. Oh. There aren't just 21 books. Hush, hush. I have my reading journal with me here to consult. She chunky. I have right there. Look at this list. So this list is like sort of interchangeable. Honestly, I have an additional list for even more books that I'm read this year if I get around to it. Okay, let's just start. Actually, the first book on this list is book that I'm reading right now. I'm only 8 pages in, so it doesn't really count that much. And it's These Violet Delights by Chloe Thal, which is a Romeo and Juliet retelling that takes place what? In High. It follows Juliet High, who is the heir of the. We don't have to listen to all of this. Have I read These Violent Delights? What? What? Pull up in the Sri Lanka, what? These Violent Delights have violent ends. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong is one of my top reads of the year. I am obsessed. I have not read Our Violent Ends yet. I have it. I have the ARC as well. I just got both signed. No, I got the ARC signed at Y'all Fest when I met Chloe last month. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely no OVs gonna wreck me. And also Chloe's next, I don't know if it's a duology or a series, Foul Lady Fortune, is on my anticipated list, like very high on my 2022 anticipated releases. Chloe Gong is like an auto-author right now, simply from one book. Excellence, perfection. I'm only 8 pages in, but I really already love Chloe Gong's writing style, and I love a retelling. And so next we have another fairly recent release, and that is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Carrie Maniscalco is the author of the Stalking Jack the Ripper books. This one follows Amelia after her twin sister Victoria is found dead. I believe they are stranded, which are Italian witches who live like secretly amongst humans. Yes. You know what? Yes, I read Kingdom of the Wicked. Don't remember when, if I'm being honest with you. Obviously it was sometime this year. Was it March? Maybe it was March. Hold on. It wasn't March. I don't know why my March spreads are all getting stuck together. That's annoying. It wasn't March. It doesn't matter. I've read Kingdom of the Wicked. I gave it a 3.25 stars, 3.5, 3.25 stars. It was fun. It was a quick read. I really like the world it's set in, but there was really never a time where I really loved the characters fully. but I am still really excited to go into Kingdom of the Cursed. And then I think the third one just got a title, which is, I don't remember, Kingdom of the Feared, I believe. Doesn't matter. I'm here for Wrath. Perfect. Let's move on.
Next, I was supposed to read it like immediately when it came out, and it's Girl by Tiffany Jackson. Tiffany Jackson is an autobiography. She is one of my favorite authors, and everything she writes is golden. She can't do any wrong in my eyes. I say this every single time I mention her. This book I know is going to be a lot to deal with. This follows Enchanted Jones, who is, I think like at the start of the book is aspiring musician, and this kind of follows her being like
okay, shush. We're doing so well so far. 3 for 3. Another one of my top favorite books of the whole year. This book was a lot to deal with. It made me really angry. I'm going to talk about it more obviously when I do my top books of the year, but of course I read Grown. I love Tiffany so much. Was so excited to go to see her at Y'all Fest. In fact, actually, I was just in New York the other day. Yeah, this past weekend. And I went to Books of Wonder for the first time in 2 years. First time since they've been in the new storefront. And as I was checking out, I was like, oh my god, they have Tiffany's Santa in the City, her little children's Christmas book. And the bookseller was like, can I interest you in a free copy? I'm like, don't play with me, sir. Of course you can. I don't play when it comes to Tiffany. But where she had gone to Books of Wonder, and I'm finding out several other bookstores, and donated copies of Santa in the City for, like, he said people who were just like in the spirit or something like that. I guess because I was really excited about the book, he gave me a free copy. And so now I have everything Tiffany's ever written. I believe my Tiffany D. Jackson collection is complete as of right now, because she has a book coming out next year that I'm hype about.
Next is another one that I've heard nothing but the highest praise for, and it's Legendborn by Tracy Dion. All I really truly know about this is that it's like black girl magic and Arthurian legend put together. It's like absolutely.
Sure is.
Yes. I have always really been obsessed with like the Arthurian legends, like just like that world like Camelot and whatnot. And I said, I don't think.
Two things. Well, one thing before I talk about Legendborn. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing the same lipstick in that video but I just like dabbed it on today, like as a tint. It's just so funny to see the range. Anywho, of course, Legendborn. So I met Tracy last month at Y'all Fest, and it just all bubbled out of me, everything I feel for that book. And I mean, I'm very thankful that I got to tell her in person, but like that Legendborn is everything to me. 5 out of 5 stars. Bloodmark comes out next year. In fact, the date was just pushed back, which kind of hurts my feelings, but what can you do? That book is going to destroy me, and I welcome it with open arms, if I'm being honest.
Secret society of so-called Legendborn students that hunt the creatures down, and a serious teenage mage who calls himself Merlin, and who attends.
That's my boy. That's my boy. Selwyn King.
Next is a sequel that I can't believe I haven't gotten to, one of my favorite authors, and it's The Damned by Blackbooktube, which is The Secrets of the Beautiful. Which I love so much. I haven't read over any book that I haven't, but that one is set in New Orleans in the 1900s, and follows Celine, who has like just arrived from Paris with all types of secrets of her own. She is being hunted by this entity.
Well, this is the part where we deviate, where we veer off the road a little bit. Do you know how many, I almost said playlists, then I almost said set lists. What am I saying? TBR lists I've put The Damned on this year, and I've still not gotten around to it. And the third book has come out, The Righteous. I have a Fairyloot edition of that coming at some point. Also, you know how hard it is to order like sequels in a series without accidentally spoiling plot points when you like have the synopsis in front of you. So no, I have not read The Damned by Enchante. I'm a fake fan. Obviously, it is on my 2023 TBR. My January TBR solely consists of sequels and catching up on series and finishing series. So that is on that TBR. God, I need to make it. Let me see it. I think I need to bump it to make sure I have like priority books on that list, and also just like other ones I could get to. I need to bump that up to a priority.
So next we have The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, which I was supposed to read back in October, but I didn't get around to it. I'm not entirely sure what I was saying. I was interrupted by a delivery. Oh, The Only Good Indians. Okay. I was supposed to read this back in October, the spooky season, and then I was going to read it in November for Vintage Fun, but I also didn't get around to it then. So the tale of revenge, cultural identity, and cost of breaking from tradition in this latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature, Stephen Graham Jones.
We are slightly back on track because I read The Only Good Indians in, I think it was March or April. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was earlier in the year. It was in, yeah, I read it in April. It was interesting. I am really interested to read more Stephen Graham Jones from reading that book. It wasn't quite what I expected, but like I said, I'm still really interested to dive more into Stephen Graham Jones' works.
So next is Such a Fun Age by Riley Reid, which is like a story of performative activism and effects of that. In the midst of a family crisis one late evening, white blogger Alex Chamberlain calls her African-American babysitter Mira, asking her to take Tyler Breyer to the local market for distraction. There, the security guard accused Mira of kidnapping.
Right. No, I didn't read this book this year. I don't even think I put it on any like prospective TBRs. Maybe for February. It's not even on that TBR. I don't even think I put it on any of my monthly TBRs. So, did I really want to read it? This book's been on, what, 2 TBRs now for the year? We'll see. We'll see what happens. My book buying habit is getting me in trouble. Oh, what am I doing? Wrong button. I almost stopped recording instead of pushing play.
Was it that shouted it out? It was Nick Stone that shouted it out when it first came out. It really made me want to read it.
Oh, Nick Stone.
Alright, next we have a thriller by one of my favorite romance authors, and it's When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. You might know as the author of the Reluctant Royals and now Runaway Royal series, both of which I love so much. And then when I heard she was writing a thriller novel, I was like, what? Yes, absolutely. I would love to see what she does in another genre. It says the gentrification of a Brooklyn neighborhood takes on a sinister new meaning. Sydney Green is Brooklyn born and raised, but her beloved neighborhood seems to change every time she blinks. Condos are sprouting like weeds, for sale signs are popping up overnight.
Well, we are 2 for 2 with not only not reading them this year, but also not even putting them on a monthly TBR to even consider reading them this year. I don't even own When No One Is Watching. I at least own Such a Fun Age.
Next is a poetry collection, and it's I Would Leave Me If I Could by Miss Ashley French herself, French whatever, called Leap. So yes, this is a celebrity poetry book, and those rarely go well, but I think she is a really good lyricist, so I think that her poetry, she shared like bits of time.
Okay. Bringing it back around, at least momentarily. I read I Would Leave Me If I Could. Not only have I read I Would Leave Me If I Could, but I did a whole book look for it. If you haven't seen it, here it is. I'll link it down below. And it's one of my favorite things that I've done this year. Actually, I think I have the photo in my journal because I did, yeah, here's one of them. I did a book look also using About Face, which is Halsey's makeup line, so that was fun. I also thought it was really interesting that there are a lot of moments, lines quotes in the poetry collection that are then become lyrics, or vice versa. I don't know which came first. Lyrics or snippets from songs from, is it off If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power, or Manic, whatever album. I think Manic, actually. Yeah. So I just thought that was really interesting.
New series by a favorite author, and also a reread technically, and it's The Iron King by Julie Kagawa, which is the first of the Iron Bay series. I really fell in love with Julie Kagawa as an author after reading the Shadow of the Fox books. I love that series, we know. I don't have to go into that. The Iron King, funny story about this, I read this back, I mean, I didn't read it when it came out, because it came out in like 2010. So I read it, I checked it out from the library back before I was even really, before I was in the YouTube period, let alone booktube. And I really enjoyed it. I intended to continue to enjoy everything.
Hush. Nope, I did not read The Iron King by Julie Kagawa, and that was one I was planning to read. I had it prepared for, I was going to read it back in May for Asian Readathon. I had it lined up. I think I got like stuck on, I don't know, something, like falling into like a semi-slump. I think I put it on another TBR for the year. I can't remember, but that is when I really had every intention of reading. I planned to read it. I had it out so that as long as I could see it, I would pick it up to read, and just didn't do it. I'm really disappointed. So I'll probably shift that one to 2023.
Listed here because they're by the same author, and I bought a bunch of this author's books last year, and I would like to want to read them this year. And I have both listed, The Bone Witch and also The Never Tilting World by Enchante. I read a Enchante book years ago. I read The Girl from the Well. So when all that drama with what's her face, Mackenzie Lee, was going on, I bought the sequel to that book, this book, and also The Never Tilting World. So this year I'd like to read them. So The Bone Witch is in the cap.
Hear me out. Couple things. First and foremost, I didn't read The Bone Witch, but I did start The Bone Witch. I started reading it. I'm maybe just under 100 pages into the book. That being said, part of the reason I didn't read The Bone Witch is because I had it lined up with The Girl from the Well and The Suffering. Back in, I think also in May, I was going to read like mostly Ren books, or as many as possible. But I had the Suffering, so I reread. I wanted to start there and then move on, and then I kind of couldn't really get into the Bone. That's why I couldn't read The Iron King, because that's when I started slipping into like a slump, and then had to read like a romance. So I had to put The Bone Witch down. Didn't pick it back up, and then months later, Ren's out here being anti-black on the internet, and now I don't know. Now I don't know if I'm going to finish the book. Now I don't know what to do. So I'm waiting to kind of see how that plays out before I proceed with my Ren read through, you know. What I need to do is when I find a book, I need to read everything the author's done before I find out anything about them. Maybe I'll just read, because I have this book, The Never Tilting World, also. Maybe I'll just read it because I have it.
Book series on entirety book world, and it's Poppy War by Arthur Combs. I know this one's like super heavy, and I want to approach it this way because I know it talks about real events that have happened, real war. It says when Ren aced the Keju, the empire-wide test to find the most talented youth to learn at the academy, it was a shock to everyone.
No. I don't own the Poppy War. I still don't own it. I put it on my my wish list, my Christmas list this year, I believe. Did I put? I don't know. Let me stop lying. My mom's not sitting right here to be like, no, you didn't. Oh, it is on my Christmas list for this year. Part of the reason I haven't read this because I don't have it yet. I don't know what to tell you. And R.F. Kuang has a new series, a new book coming out in 2022, which also sounds really, really interesting. But I'm gonna want to read the Poppy War before I move on, you know?
Next is a book I just got yesterday. It's Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I don't know a ton about the book, but I love this cover so much. It's so gorgeous and it's so much more beautiful in person. It's inspired by civilizations of pre-Columbian Americas and woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. The God will return.
Alright, so we're back on track. Oh, Black Sun. Oh, Serapio. Oh, telephone. So another book that I absolutely adored this year. Black Sun is absolutely everything, and Favorite Star comes out in 2022. The cover is still ugly. The cover is still ugly, especially when you put it side by side with Black Sun. It's what's inside that counts. I know, I think I said that last year in last year's video. I realized, or in the, because I was watching my revisiting my 2020 TBR video, and in the December TBR video I was talking about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I think I said that too, and I don't want to speak that into my life, but I said in that it's what's inside that matters, and I also hated what was inside of Songbirds and Snakes. But Rebecca Roanhorse isn't going to do that to me. I don't know, because I didn't think Suzanne Collins, my queen, would do that to me, and then she did. But Rebecca Roanhorse isn't going to do that to me. Favorite Star is going to be amazing, because Black Sun was excellent.
Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distance bound for Nova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Zayala, is a disgraced thief whose song can
icon
waters around her as easily as it can work a man's mind. Her ship carries one passenger. Described as harmless and passenger, Serapio is a young man blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. And Zayala, well, no, lovely. Next is a book by a recent favorite author, and that's The Wicker King by Kay Ingram, who is also the author of The Waiting Stars, also the author of Darling, which comes out this year, which is one of my most anticipated 2021 releases. But The Wicker King is, I believe, her first book, and these characters also make an appearance in The Waiting Stars.
I have not read Darling yet. I just mentioned that I'm kind of holding my Peter Pan retellings until I'm at least finished the first draft of mine, because I don't want them to like influence anything subconsciously. So I have that, and also Lost in the Neverwoods by Ian Thomas. Anywho, but I did read The Wicker King, and I did really enjoy The Wicker King. It's kind of really heavy at points, but it was really, really interesting. I love Kayla's writing, and I'm just excited I can check that off my little list.
Alright, next is, I have the first edition of this book. First printing of this book. I know it, Enchante by Bedazzled. It's now, the title is now changed to All That Glitters, but I'm going to keep calling it Enchante because I like that better. And the sequel was Liberté or something like that, and now it's All That's Gold or something like that. I don't care. Enchante, all I really know is that it takes place in Paris, right at the French Revolution, I believe. So
I didn't read Enchante. I actually, initially my plan was probably going to save it towards this time of the year. I don't know why. I don't know why French Revolution screams winter to me, but other books took precedence, and it's still sitting on my bookcase. Just Bedazzled.
Next we have Nourishing Half by Britt Bennett. I wanted to read this at several points last year. I only know that it follows twin sisters who grew up in this Felix.
This phone's getting on my nerves.
They're both white passing. I think a lot of the community are white passing. And I know both, the one sister leaves the town and goes on to live her life passing as a white.
Ah, right, cool. No, I haven't read The Vanishing Half. Nope. I have nothing else to say about that.
The next book is Dear Justice by Nick Stone, which is not necessarily a sequel, but a follow-up to Steve Martin, which I love so much. This one follows Juan, who is in prison, and so now he's running.
No. I did not read Dear Justice. I have 2 copies of this book. Have I mentioned that? I don't know. I put them in my container. I explain all the time I don't have storage, proper book space. So I have like one little tiny, it's literally this wide, bookcase, and then the rest of my books here are in containers. There's like 3 containers. I have like a box in the hall closet. The rest of my book collection is in storage. In fact, I am preparing books to send around to storage right now, so I can like put up all the newer books that I brought in. But anyway, I put my Dear Justice copies in one of my containers, and like out of sight, out of mind. I just haven't thought about it since, honestly.
Okay, next we have Surrender Your Sons by Adam Sass. I don't know too much about this book, but I believe it follows a boy who is sent to conversion therapy camp. It says, but Connor's troubles are only beginning. At nightlight, everyone has something to hide from the campers to the converted staff and KG camp director, and it quickly becomes clear that no one is safe. Connor plans to escape.
Nope. 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 No. It just never managed to happen. I'm very sorry about that.
Next is another book that is I'm going to give away at some point because I have multiple copies. It is Each of Us a Desert by Mark Oshiro. In 2020, I read Mark's first book, and here's a gift. Loved it so much. Oh my goodness. Also really love Mark as a person. We had a moment in 2020 where Haley acknowledged Eloy up there. This one is a fantasy novel about finding home and falling in love amidst the dangers of a desert where stories come to life.
Okay, so couple things. One, yes, I have read Each of Us a Desert. I thought it was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. Two, I'm just laughing at the first thing I talk about is Haley Williams of Paramore tweeting me and Mark that time, and that's like still our running thing. In fact, I saw Mark at Y'all Fest last month, and I got a paperback copy of Each of Us a Desert because that cover is stunning. When I finally do my end of year haul, you'll see it. But I'm laughing because Mark wrote in the book, Haley knows we exist, because that was like our running, every time we would like talk to each other at Y'all Fest, like, never forget Haley Williams knows we exist. So that's just really funny to me. Love Mark. Oh my god, this phone.
Incredible. So next are another 2 books from the same series, and they are the second and third books of the Something Strange and Deadly series by Susan Dennard. The second is A Darkness Strange and Lovely, and then Strange and Ever After. And like I said, these are the second and final books in that series. Something Strange.
Okay, this one kind of really upsets me. I haven't finished the series. That was my plan. Finish the series and then, like, you know, fully focus on the Witchlands, and then Luminaries comes out next year. I had a lot of plans. I was going to read this during spooky season. If I didn't read it during spooky season, I was going to be one of my last reads of this year. And I don't know, once again, other books took precedence, and like I prioritized those reads, and I just kept putting it off, and here we are, the last little over a week of the year. So I'm sad because we know how much I love Susan Dennard, and like I said, I still have to finish this series. I haven't read Witch Shadow yet, and then like the Luminaries comes out. I have a lot of Susan Dennard to read in 2022.
Oh, we're going to Paris in this one. That's fun. That's fun. We're going to switch it up. We're going from my city to a dream city that I need to visit before I die. But, you know, you can't do that then. Y'all trolls don't take care of yourselves and other people, and, you know, wear masks, stay inside unless you have to, wash your hands.
It's sad I'm still saying that.
Another goal of mine going into 2021 is I really want to read what we call these, like, black, I guess, classics or staples in black literature. But the 2 books I have listed are books that I was assigned to read in high school, and sorry to admit, I hate having to admit this, I just skimmed in high school. And they are Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison and Native Son by Richard Wright. So like I was saying, I was assigned to read both of these in high school.
I read The Bluest Eye this year. I listened to it. I listened to the audiobook. It was a lot. And I feel like I wouldn't have appreciated it at all in high school. I mean, obviously I didn't, because like I said in this story, I was assigned to read in high school and just skimmed through it and kind of like winged it on all my tests. But I can say I have accomplished. I can say I've read a Toni Morrison book, so that is great. We'll see what next year's black staple, black classic goal is. Okay, so that's video 1. Feels like it took so long to get through this. It feels like it took longer to watch it than it did to film it. So those were 21 books to read in 2021, and of those 21 books, I've read 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So almost like just about half of the list, which honestly isn't that bad. Am I going to then shift the remaining books to my 2023 TBR? Perhaps. Definitely The Iron King and The Poppy War and A Darkness Strange and Lovely. Those ones are definitely ones I need to read next year. Probably Enchante, because I really want to read that this year. But also I had my additional TBR of the year, and of the 11 of those, I've read 2, 4, 5. Coraline, Bad Beginning, The Gracier, love that book, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, and then Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, which I also really love. Okay, so let's quickly move on. I'm going to take a break for a second, get some water, revamp, and then I'm going to, I mean, that makes no difference to you because it's just going to be the next clip, jump into my 2021 anticipated reads list, BRB. Alright, now we are starting my, what is this called? 21 books, 21 most anticipated 2020, I don't know. 21 most anticipated 2021 releases.
That's just the elephant in the room. There's conditioner in my hair, so please deal with it. Also,
that's what that is.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Today, as I'm sitting down to film this, it's January 5th, which means as always, I'm running behind. The fact that I'm finally sitting down to film this video and the one I'm going to film after this is a miracle, because I didn't think that I was going to.
Now I think this list is a little more disappointing than the previous one. Definitely read less 2021 releases than I thought I would.
And then I'm going to go over my general 2021 TBR. Okay, so first and foremost, my most anticipated read of the whole year is the same as it was last year, and it's We Free the Stars by House of Faisal, which is the sequel to We Hunt the Flame by House of Faisal. It was supposed to release last June. It was supposed to release, I think, last June, but with the pandemic and everything, like many other releases, a lot of them on this list is pushed back until January 19th, which means it comes out in 14 days and 2 weeks. I'm so excited.
Now y'all know I read this book. We are starting off strong. There's a whole reading vlog dedicated to reading We Free the Stars. That book is everything to me. That duology is everything to me. You know I loved We Hunt the Flame. We Hunt the Flame. We Free the Stars is such a beautiful, satisfying conclusion. Hafsa, chef's kiss. And then A Tempest of Tea comes out next year, which is her new duology. I believe it's a duology. It's set in the same world as We Hunt the Flame, but it's like different characters. I'm still invested. I'm fully invested. I'm so excited. We Free the Stars was, I'm not gonna dwell because I will be filming my best reads of 2021 list video very soon, and you know it's gonna be up there. You know it's gonna be up there. The character arcs, let me stop when we move on.
Next is a continuation of another favorite series of mine, and it's Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard. You know how I love Witch so much, and Witch Shadow is what we're finally getting Isolde's arc storyline. She's the main character this time. I love that for her. Isolde is my fave. Her and Aiden, Bedazzled. I love these books.
So I hate to report that I have not read Witch Shadow yet. My original plan was actually to read it around this time. It just didn't happen, and I'm really sad about it. I don't like going into like the next year since the book came out having not read it, but I will. It is like, you know, a priority read for 2023, god, especially with the Luminaries coming out. I want to not be focusing on the Witchlands when there's a new Susan world to dive into. I haven't read it, but I do own it. I own like 2 copies of it.
So next is another sequel, and it's Rebirth Souls by which is the sequel to Kingdom of Souls.
No!
I love that book so much. I've actually read every single book I've mentioned so far. That book comes out February 18th. Like I said, it's the sequel to Rebirth Souls, which follows Ara, who comes from this line of witch doctors.
Oh, Amber. This one hurts me. This one hurts me. This one hurts me so much. I've not read Rebirth Souls, and I'm really upset about it because like Kingdom of Souls was like my favorite book the year it came out. It's one of my favorite books. It's one of my favorite series. Well, I say that even though I've only read the first book, but I've heard like nothing but good things about Rebirth Souls, and the fact that I've kept putting it off irritates my soul. The fact that I have not read it yet irritates my soul. It's the first book I plan to read in 2022. In fact, I am preparing to start listening to the audiobook of Kingdom of Souls to brush up because it's been a minute, so that I can go right into Rebirth Souls, and then later next year the what is it called, Master of Souls. I think that's the conclusion. I'm not sure, but it is the next book in the series comes out. And I need to catch up.
Next, we have a romance novel, and it's After Age Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert, which is the third and final in the Brown sisters trilogy. The first one being DÉLIRE Chloe Brown, the second one being Tate and Danny Brown, and now After Age Eve Brown. Y'all know how I feel about Brown sisters books.
Y'all know how I feel about the Brown sisters books. We're back on track. Of course I've read After Age Eve Brown. I'm about to read it again. Talia Hibbert can do no wrong in my eyes. Talia Hibbert can do no wrong in my eyes. And one of my goals for 2022 is to reread the Brown Sisters trilogy. I'm still working my way through all of Talia's works alongside that, but I need to be back in that world, especially because I still don't know the date for what is it called, Skybriar book. That's like kind of like a spin-off series of this, following the siblings we meet in Eve.
So next we have, I believe, a debut. So this is the first like author so far that I'm not familiar with, first book, but I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for this book. This cover is absolutely stunning, my Jesus. And it's Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. Okay. This book comes out on April 20th. Oh, I didn't mention After Age Eve Brown comes out March 9th. Anyway, Witches Steeped in Gold is Jamaican inspired, which is so exciting.
Okay, no. I haven't read Witches Steeped in Gold. I think I have like 3 or 4 different copies of this book. Haven't read it yet. It is on, it's like a priority for my February TBR. Yeah, the sequel comes out in 2022. I'm nervous though because I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. So we'll see. We'll see. But I still plan on reading it in 2022. I got a lot of catching up to do. A lot of my magical black girl books I didn't get around to the way I wanted to, which is stupid. It sucks.
Next is another debut, and it's Wings of Ebony by J.L. I'm on the street team of this book, and I've done such a poor job of it.
That's what's so upsetting to me. I'm on the street team. I'm still on the street team for the second book, and I haven't read the first one yet. Are you not embarrassed? I am. I haven't read Wings of Ebony, another priority read for February. The second book comes out in 2022. I'm on the street team. Actually, I haven't really like checked in a while because like depression and no motivation to do anything. Hence why like all of my videos are being rushed right now.
Yes, I'm so excited about this. I'm excited for every book. I don't have to say it every time I know that I'm going to continue. The next book is Blood Like Magic by
Oh my god. Oh my god. I should just leave at this point. I should just see myself out. I don't have to keep saying it's like the same pattern. I have not read Blood Like Magic. The sequel comes out in 2022. I need to catch up. I am embarrassed. I am an embarrassment to myself. It's fine. Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
I'm so excited for her.
What did I read? What releases did I read this year?
The next book in another one of my favorite series. And it's Gods and Monsters by Shelby Maher.
My computer's TV is buffering. So Gods and Monsters by Shelby Maher, the final book in the Serpent and Dove trilogy. To be fair, I started it. I'm maybe 60 pages in. I was slippity sliding into a slump, and I didn't want to force myself to read it and ruin my reading experience, so I put it down temporarily. I had every intention to pick it back up before the end of 2021. Clearly that's not gonna happen. I started it, so that kind of counts. Also, want to point out the last like 3 books that I said I didn't read: Rebirth Souls, Wings of Ebony, and Blood Like Magic. I own all of them. That's the thing. I haven't read them, but I own them, and I think that should count for something.
Another finale for another series, and it's Bedazzled and DÉLIRE by Tbrs, which is the final Curse Breakers book. Final Amber? Curse of Dark and Only book.
Amber in the Ashes, Amber, please.
A beauty piece retelling that starts off in our world, so it has a sort of contemporary feel to it, as well as the fantasy feel.
Alright. So, Bedazzled and DÉLIRE by Bridget Kimmerer. I did read this book. I finished the Curse Breakers series. Also on the street team for that too. I have thoughts, I think. I'm going to talk about it later in another video. I did read it though. So that's more than I can say for other books on this list. I actually forgot this book was on this list. So seeing it here kind of surprised me for some reason.
Project by Courtney Summers, who's the author of Sadie, which is an absolute favorite of mine. I listened to the audiobook, maybe 2019? I don't know, you tell me. And I was blown away by the audiobook.
Nope.
So I know I do like whatever.
Nope. I have not read the project. I have pushed the project onto my 2022 TBR. I'm going to try to speed through this a little bit more. I have limited space left on my card.
Next, we have a debut novel that was supposed to come out in 2020, and it's The Gilded Ones by Nina Forna. I have an arc of this from, was it Outcreep at the Arcane? And I refuse to touch it.
God. Have I read any of the Magic Black Girl books that I have on this list? I don't think I have. I'll see myself out. Once again, I will see myself out. I'm upsetting myself. I'm upset. Own it. I own it. I own the project also. I didn't mention that. I'm pretty sure I own all the books on this list.
But that is Bedazzled by Ryan Lasala, author of Reverie. I love Ryan a lot. I enjoyed Reverie a lot. This book is sort of a contemporary novel that is set in like the cosplay world.
Okay, so I have read Bedazzled, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was really cute, and it made me want to start stepping into the world of cosplay. So thanks for that, Ryan.
Oh, excited for this one. Next is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, which is a prequel. This one follows a teenage maverick.
Oh my god. So can we talk about how not only have I not read Concrete Rose, but I only bought it last month, and my mom had to remind me that I don't own it. I forgot that I didn't have it, so she reminded me so I could get it signed at Y'all Fest. Oh god. So no, I haven't read Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas yet.
Dark spot there. If there's one thing that I heard about this book a while ago. I think I thought it was coming out last year. I wish it had. So I've been like waiting for my hands on this. It is The Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. I have not read Cemetery Voyage yet. I need to. It's on my list. I never even list. But this book is Peter Pan.
It's Peter Pan retelling, and I just mentioned that I am holding all my Peter Pan retellings until my draft is finished. So no, I haven't read Lost in the Neverwoods, but I have a good reason for it. Also, I met Aiden last month. Absolutely lovely.
A little bit newer on my radar. My radar, but still regardless also on this cover. And it's a wild one by Bedazzled, who is the author of The Game of Flame, which is a book I love so much. And I really want hyped up as so many other maybe slightly less reserved.
One, I've heard maybe one person talk about this book, and it's Kayla from Books and Lala. Two, I have not read this book, and I'm really upset about it because this story sounds amazing, I love Nafisa Assad's writing. I really want to, I don't own this one yet, I don't think, but it is the top of my 2022 TBR. I'm so upset that I haven't read it. Also, this cover is stunning. This cover is stunning. Stunning, lads.
Similar title, we have wild both titles. This one is Wild Women in Blues. I don't remember how I came across this one, but y'all.
Nope.
First of all, the cover. Yes, it says ordinary people. I'm also reading summaries of like the books that by authors I'm not as familiar with because I don't want to butcher the summaries of their books. We can babble through books that I have an idea of what's going on in. This Ordinary People Meet Chicago musical is played out in the city's black belt.
Oh, I haven't read this. Shut up. I have not read Wild Woman in the Blues. I own it though. I have nothing else to say about that actually. There's no reason that I haven't read it. I just haven't gotten around to it. I do really like looking at it. I do really like that cover.
So next coming out on June 1st is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nevo, which has been pitched almost as a sort of like Gatsby retelling, almost. So like that has Gatsby vibes.
Haven't read it. I have not read The Chosen and the Beautiful. I don't own The Chosen and the Beautiful. But Nevo's next book is on my 2022 TBR. Siren Queens, I believe that's what it's called. I have no reason, mostly because I don't own the book yet. I haven't gotten around to picking it up, but I've also heard a couple mixed things, but I don't care. The cover's beautiful. It has Gatsby vibes. Argue with your mom.
Next we have What Booktube by Rose Zava, which I think is sort of a
I'm not even gonna wait. I haven't read it. I don't own it. I kind of forgot about it, if I'm being very honest with you.
This book is A Song of Storms and Silence.
Yikes.
Which is a sequel to A Song of Races and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This comes out on June 1st. I enjoyed A Song of Races and Ruin. I had a few mixed opinions about the book.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I have not read A Song of Storms and Silence. I have it, and I'm also waiting for my fake rate box, but I haven't. I'm getting on my nerves. If you can't tell, I'm really getting on my nerves.
Other is otherworldly. So next
It
we
really
have
is.
6 Crumbs and Cranes by Elizabeth Lynn, who is the
I have not read 6 Crumbs and Cranes, and I have it. In fact, I have my Fairy Loot edition sitting right next to me. It's very high on my list of 2022 reads. Elizabeth Lim is lovely. I love Spin the Dawn. I have to read Unravel the Dusk. We're doing this like this because my camera's annoying me. As I was saying, Unravel the Dusk is also very high on my list to read this year. Elizabeth Lim gets such gorgeous covers. It's wild to me. I also have a bunch of her like Twisted Tales to read, the Disney one. I think I only own the Mulan one though.
Last but not least, it's another retelling, and it's another Peter Pan retelling, and it's by an author that I love, and it's Darling by Kate Ancrum, who is the author of The Wicker King and The Weight of the Stars. I've only read The Weight of the Stars, but The Wicker King is on my list of 21 books to read in 2021.
Well, first off, we just watched the first half of this where I have read The Wicker King. Have not read Darling, but like I just said, again, I am holding all of my Peter Pan retellings until a later date. So there is a very logical reason why I have not read it.
Like a dark.
Have it though. I have it though. So that is my list of 21 most anticipated 2021 releases. Of that 21, I have read 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a 4, Amber. 4. And I started a 5th. Oh, that's upsetting. But as far as my additional list of 2021 releases, I'm not even gonna bring it up because I haven't read any of them. God. Okay, that's big yikes. That's big yikes. I'm gonna close the book. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what books you were supposed to read this year and didn't get around to. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, feel free to subscribe. All my places are in here so you can follow me and I'll follow you back. I will be back very soon with more end of year videos. I'll see you very soon. Bye.